Hi Stampers, it's Nancy from stampandshout.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm here every Tuesday at 7 o'clock, so welcome. Go ahead and say hi. I'm excited for tonight's video because I am going to make some guide cards. I know sometimes it's hard to think of some guide cards, but Stampin' Up! This year really helps us out because in the annual catalog on page 79, I think I have it marked here. Starting on page 79, they have a great collection of masculine guy stamps. And tonight I am going to use the He's the Man stamp set, or it's called He's All That. That's the stamp set. The whole suite is called He's the Man because there's a lot of coordinating items that you can get with it. So you do have the stamp set, you do have the die set, and you have some designer series paper, and you have these little embellishments here. Tonight I'm basically using the stamp set and the designer series paper, and I really want to show you something up close on this designer series paper. So it comes, you have your 12 by 12 double-sided sheets, and included are a couple of pages like this, and they're not stickers, but they're little cutouts, and you can add them to your card. We're going to use a few of them tonight, but this is really cool. I mean, it covers so many types of guide cards that you might want to make, just from your, for your dad, for your husband, to your son, uncles, nephews, your neighbor, the fix-it man, whatever. This is really a good pack of designer series paper for that. So I just wanted to mention that and kind of give you a close-up look of some of those cutouts. As you can see, I've already used a few of them, but let's get started. And tonight, the first thing we're going to make is a little bit of a fun fold. So let me bring in the supplies for that. I like this, doesn't use a lot of supplies, and it's pretty easy, but it's kind of unique because it is a fun fold. So I'm using Very Vanilla, and it's 11 by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2. So that's the first part. Then I have, for the inside, a piece of Early Espresso, that's 5 1/4 by 4. And then for the front, I have Early Espresso, and this is, what size is this one? Oh, it's 5 1/4 by 2 1/4, and the designer series paper is 5 by 2. If I forget to mention the size, don't worry. You can go to my blog later, stampandshout.com. I will have pictures of these cards, and I will have all the supplies that I used and the sizes, and you can order from me directly from that blog. There are little pictures there, and you can just click on them, and they take you right to the store, and you can order whatever you like. And as always, I'm always available for questions. So I'm glad to help you guys. So there we go. That's going to be the front of our card. That's going to be for the inside of our card. And also for the inside of our card, I have a piece of Very Vanilla, and this is 5 1/4. No, it's 5 by 2. Then I have a couple of those cutouts that we're going to use, and let's get started. So the first thing we have to do is take this base, and we're going to cut it down. So we went ahead and we scored it. Let me bring in my cutter. And we're going to cut off 1 1/4 inches. So the card is going to open like this. So we're going to cut off the front top piece. So all I'm doing is putting it in here. Just going to check my measurements here. 1 3/4 is where I'm lining it up, and I'm going to cut right down to that score line. So right down to 5 1/2. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut, that's the front of our card, I'm going to cut this little flap off. So you're cutting it right on the score line, or you're cutting it 5 1/2 right down 1 3/4 inches, or down to that first cut. And that piece comes out. Now this piece you can use for the inside sentiment, as you're going to see when we get going here. I already have that piece cut out, so I'm going to save that for another card. Okay, so that's what we have. That's our card base. Then I'm going to bring in our matte piece and our designer series paper. I'm going to glue the two of those together. So there's a good sample of the car designer series paper, and then the other side it has a pretty pattern. So yeah, this paper covers all types of guys, car buffs and campers and hikers, guys who are good at fixing things. What else? We have car buffs. We have your businessman. We have guys who barbecue. So this paper really covers it all. So now I'm going to attach this right to the front of the card down there on the bottom. Just like that. Then we're going to go ahead and put our inside piece in. Again, this is 5 1/4 by 4. So this is really a cool card. So simple and quick. And it's different. Just a little bit different with that fun fold. Okay. So our car is going to go right there. And I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. So this card is for my uncle. He is a big car buff, and he is actually turning 81. So I'm excited to give him this card. And as soon as I'm done with it, it's going in the mail because I am cutting it close. His birthday is Saturday. Okay, so this is going to go right in the center here, just like that. And now we're going to put the little cutout that says "You're a Classic," and we're going to put that on dimensionals. Then we're going to stamp on the inside. And we're going to do a little bit of masking, and I'll show you what I mean. So this one, this piece here, is going to go right in the center. Okay, so far, that's our card. So now this piece here, I'm going to bring in one of the stamps. And this stamp is this one right here. And it says, "Happy Birthday to a Classic." But since the front of it says "You're a Classic," I didn't want the words "to a Classic" to appear on the inside. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some washi tape. Let me bring in my ink pad. I'm going to use the Early Espresso ink pad. And I'm going to take some of this washi tape. And I'm just going to cover up the words "to a classic." Just like that. And then I'm going to stamp it. Okay, so I got the washi tape covering it. I'm going to ink this up in Early Espresso. I'm going to take that washi tape off, throw it away. And now I'm going to stamp on the inside piece of cardstock. And now it just says "Happy Birthday" with that fun card. Car. Classic car. So that's a quick and easy way to adjust your stamps to have them say exactly what you want them to say for whatever card you're making. Okay, this card is almost done. And put that right there, just like that. So now there you go. Isn't that cool? I love that card. Fun, quick and easy too, right? Okay, on to the next one. Okay, this one, I'm using same colors. I'm using Very Vanilla as my card base, and I scored it at 5 1/2. It's 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. And then I have Early Espresso 5 1/4 by 4, and Very Vanilla 5 by 3 3/4. That's for the inside. And the same thing for the front. I have Early Espresso Matte and Very Vanilla, and this one I ran through the timber embossing folder to give it that texture. Then I also have a little mat that's 4 by 2 1/2 and espresso, and a piece of vanilla that is just a little bit littler, and that's what is that? That's about 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. But again, I'm going to have that on my blog for you. I have a strip of the Early Espresso that is 3 3/4 by about 1 1/8, and the Designer Series paper is 3 3/4 by 1. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this matte piece to the front of our card. So yeah, uncle's birthday, husband's birthday, 2 nephews, one in November, one in, oh, both of those are in November, and also my husband and myself were celebrating our anniversary, 40 years. So I got to make a nice anniversary card for that great event. 40 years, oh my God. Okay, now I'm attaching the embossed piece. I'm going to go ahead and attach these two pieces together. So this has the barbecue Designer Series paper on one side and the stripes on the other. And I'm using the stripes for this card. But if you have a barbecuer in your family, that would be a good piece of the Designer Series paper to use. Okay, we're going to put that off to the side. Then we're going to bring this piece in and I'm going to stamp. And on this one, I am stamping "To the Man Who Does Everything." And that would be my husband. He can fix anything. I'm going to stamp this right at the top of this Very Vanilla piece. Make sure I don't get ink on it from my fingers. There we go. Beautiful. Love it. Okay, now we're going to finish putting this together. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that little piece of vanilla to that matte piece. And I'm going to pop this up on my dimensionals. You put one in the middle, just so it doesn't sag. Can't have a saggy card. And this is going to go right in the middle here. Just like that. Now this piece is going to go right here, and all I'm going to do on this piece is put a dimensional on each end. You could put some glue there, but I don't think I need that. And then I'm going to think before I attach this, because I have some more pieces that I want to bring in. I'm going to bring in the little wrench cutout and the hammer cutout, and I'm going to put those right there. And I have one more little piece I'm going to stamp, and it's that stamp right there that says number 1. So let me stamp that like that. Okay, so it's stamped, and I already have this done, and I just cut it out. I fussy cut it out, so now I have this little stamp right there. And let's see, how do I want to put this? I think I'm going to move it over just a little bit. Put that there. And just thinking here, creating with you as I go along. I could either put some twine on here. I'm going to put a little bit of this gold on here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and attach this little strip. I'm going to put just a little bit of glue here in the middle, just to keep it extra sticky. And that's going to go right near at the bottom, but not all the way to the bottom. So about right there. Actually, I should have put this down if I want this here. Let me see. Yep, okay. So I'm going to bring this little piece of gold twine or ribbon, and I'm just going to tie a little knot just to have a little bit of whatever on here, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. And I'm not going to tie a bow. Maybe I will tie a bow. Okay, so let's trim that. And I'm going to bring in that number 1 stamp. We'll pop that up on a dimensional. Ooh, I'm liking the way this is turning out. So I'm going to put this right there. Now we're going to put these little thingies, these little thingies right there. Okay, I'm going to glue that one on there. Get some of that excess glue off. Put that right there. Oh, I like this card. I'm excited. It's going to be for my husband's birthday. A little bit of extra glue on there. I'm just touching that silicone matte that I have right there. And put that right there. Oh, I love it. What do you think? That's pretty cool, huh? Open it up like that. So inside I got my matte piece. Go ahead and put that down. And then this piece is going to go here. And I'm going to bring back in the early espresso. And I have a happy birthday. Let's see, I got this happy birthday out of the Celebrating You stamp set. Great for all occasions. Before I glue it down. Yep, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so now we'll glue this one down. Actually, I have a little smudge there. I'm going to do it on the other side, but I'm not going to keep you guys for that. I'm going to restamp it and glue it on. But there's card number 2. What do you think? Oh, I'm excited about this one. I love it. Perfect. Like I said, there are so many ways to make die cards with this stamp set and that paper that it's perfect for whoever. Okay, so this is mint macaron 11 by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2. So we'll just go ahead and give this a nice little crease. Then for the front, I have a matte piece and early espresso, and yes, I did cut a circle out of that. You'll see that in a second. That's going to go down there. piece of white that is 5 by 3 3/4. Using this designer series paper, which has that nice little camping scene with the little trailer and the campfire, the pretty trees. And that's going to go there. And then I have my 2 circles, one in early espresso and one in white. That's going to go there. And I have the cutout of the little camper. And this is also a cutout. It says, "Hope your day is a grand adventure." So we're going to put all this together, but before we do, I'm going to take this piece and we're going to do some stamping on it. So I'm going to bring in my mint macaron stamp, my mint macaron ink, and the stamp set that says, "Every day with you is another adventure." Perfect, right? And I'm just going to stamp here and there and everywhere on here, and we're going to see how this turns out. So instead of embossing this piece, we're going to add texture by stamping on it. And I like that. I think that turned out really cool. But it's going to look even more cool when we get it all put together. So let's go ahead and bring in our card base, and we can go ahead and add the mat. Just like that. Now we're going to add the piece that we stamped. You know, you could even emboss over the stamping if you like that look. I just thought of that on this one, but I'm going to leave it just stamped. And then that's going to go there like that. I like that. So this card is going to go to my nephew because he just bought a brand new camper this year. So this card is perfect for him, don't you think? So this strip is 2 by 5. Then I'm going to go ahead and glue our 2 circles together. Just like that. It's going to go there. That's going to go there. And I'm going to pop this all up. So again, all the supplies will be on my blog. And you can shop with me. You can order from me. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Pop this up. And then this is going to go right there. I'm going to pop them up. Dimensionals, aren't they great? They just add so much to your card. Okay, inside I'm going to use 2 white pieces, 5 1/4 by 4 and 5 by 3 3/4. And let's see here, I got to clean that happy birthday stamp off. Because now I'm going to stamp in, do I want to stamp in mint macaron or brown? I'm going to do it in the early espresso. And let me think, do I want to do anything else? I think that's it. Since this is going to my nephew, I think that's good. I like that. I like that, all that stamping in the background. And then plain old happy birthday inside. You know what? I stamped on the matte piece instead of my picker up piece. Guess what? It works, doesn't it? I don't need to put another layer on there unless you really want to. You can, but it's fine just like that. So there you go. We stamped that cool background. Hope your day is a grand adventure. Happy birthday. I like that. So let's bring our cards back in to the man who does everything. And you're a classic. Happy birthday. So I hope you like tonight's cards. Please leave me comments and make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you back here next Tuesday. Don't be shy. Stamp and shout.